Welcome back to Standard Edish, the video game book club podcast where standard people play the standard edition of a video game and break it down week by week. I'm Billy.
I'm Jackie.
I'm Alan.
And I'm Kaylee. And we're all on our best behavior while we're being recorded.
That's right.
Yes. Yes. It's been a while.
I was going to say, this is almost so perfect, it's just fucking boring.
Yeah. Are we on Zoom again? Is this Zoom?
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jackie, please use the hand emoji when you have...
I raised my hand.
Are you actually
and
raising
leave
your...
the hand up until you're done with your comment so you don't, jump.
That's it.
That was a finger emoji.
Yeah.
Just on the topic of like work related chatware. Has anyone gotten the newest update of Microsoft Teams where they've now put the hand raise little button next to the button where you do the reactions in the video? And now I keep clicking the hand raise button instead of the reaction thing. And it's very irritating. And they're like, Kaylee, do you have a question? I'm like, no, I don't. I just wanted to laugh at that without actually turning my microphone on.
I'll probably
never have a question.
Probably get that soon.
Jackie, they use Teams in the bakery?
No.
Yeah, is that not, you guys don't have meetings on Flower? I don't know.
That sounds so, that must be amazing. I want to go back to like a place where I'm only doing analog work. Like I just got out of a super long meeting and people were literally raising hands and all this stuff, and I was trying not to kill myself the whole time.
You make something. I just delivered a JPEG and that's it. That's my whole day. It's the same thing, right?
Cookies.
Same thing like cooking.
Yeah.
Hey, let me read you guys a review that just recently came in.
Yeah.
Listener, you should consider leaving us a review if you're having a good time. This review says, nothing standard about them. Great pod. Great podcast. Loved every episode of their playthrough of Elden Ring. Unfortunately, I'm a PC gamer and they're all on PS5 and have decided to jump into a console exclusive. I'm really hoping they decide to go with a multi-platform game next. I keep checking and hoping they finish Poop of War fast. It's like all your friends deciding to go on some posh vacation that you can't afford, but they are absolutely incredible, each and every one of them. Love them, listen to them, enjoy their journeys. Thank you, and don't worry, we are talking about new games all the time and getting ready for them.
Yeah, man.
I thought the don't worry was coming from the listener.
Oh, no, that was, I guess I don't throw my voice that well.
Yeah, keep checking back because we'll be playing more games.
I need like stereo when
That's
if you're the listener, then you're on this ear, and if you're Billy, then you're on this side.
So you can leave us a review as well. You can also hit us up on any of our channels like Instagram, Twitter, or Gmail and say things like what Alan's about to read.
Oh yeah. We got a tweet just for Billy. I know he's been waiting patiently by the microphone to get an Ultra Beast. Ultra Beast. He's been putting out the feelers for Ultra Beast. So this one comes from Jack at Standard Edish. I didn't hear the discussion because I'm not playing God of War. But I am. Yeah, I know. Right. I know. Playing God of War, but I am watching.
We're barely playing it ourselves.
we're getting through it, all right? We're getting through it. But I am watching The Last of Us, so I've been listening to the starts. So yeah, cool. We're doing that. With that out of the way, I'm here to defend Altered Beasts in all caps. We're out here, Billy. The game is fantastic. So there you go.
I feel seen.
Vindicated.
Did I use that right?
You did. You did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So Jack's out there remembering.
It's a great
Altered
game.
Beasts.
You know what? Look out for a mini. We're gonna do a little mini where I make these clowns play Altered Beast, and we'll break it down.
On what?
Yeah,
I have a Sega Genesis. You guys don't have that?
You're gonna mail it. You're gonna mail it to us.
We're gonna mail it around.
It's gonna have to be an emulator on like.
You know what? Okay.
I know.
Next time I'm in Boston, I'll bring it.
The sisterhood of the traveling Genesis.
I'm not risking sending that fucker around. You kidding me? I'm gonna bring it personally, strapped to my chest. The next time I come.
Yeah, he's gonna handcuff it in a briefcase on the plane.
It's
got so much casing on it.
Like, you know, one of those like swaddle wraps that moms have to to hold the newborns that look very comfortable. And that's what I'm imagining Billy walking through the airport with like his Sega Genesis.
It's like a chunky.
So
I'm using that, and every once in a while I'm blowing the dust out of it.
So cute. How old? Oh, it's like
with your
20
mouth?
Years old.
Oh, it's older than you.
It's 20
Use
years
a duster.
Old. Oh, it's a Sega Genesis.
You don't use a duster when you get an old school cartridge going, Jackie. You just blow on it.
Ugh. That's disgusting.
I mean, that's the OG way.
Yeah, that's how you do
It's
it.
like the only way.
No, you don't do that.
Yeah.
That's how that's you were like my little sister probably. Like, no, don't come near it.
Get like the micro tweezers,
cleaning chemicals near my system.
It's not a chemical, it's air.
Oh, I thought you were using some spray there.
No. The keyboard duster thing.
That technology didn't exist when the Sega Genesis was out. You just blew on that fucker.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, fair.
So you can reach us there. We already said that, right? So let's move right into The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Episode 4 of everyone's favorite show. What you guys think? So it was a change of pace this week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely a change from friggin' episode 3, which just was like a more intense version of the opening scene of Up.
Yes.
Yeah, an hour-long version.
It was an hour-long version of like, exactly.
Just the most tragic and beautiful love story I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Episode 4 was they did 2 things from our last episode. We called up the Mad Libs book and the porno mag, and she got both.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was happy.
I was also happy. I was like, yeah, look at this. We talked about
the joke
this.
book, not the Mad Libs book. The joke book.
The joke book.
I love how that scene where she found the porno was like verbatim how it happened in the game, and she threw it out the window. Goodbye, dudes. Like
goodbye, dudes.
That was great.
Yep.
And I just loved like, why are the pages stuck together?
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's so funny. And like, he totally turned back into a dad, and he didn't really know what to say anymore. But again, he hasn't been I think that's what's interesting. Like these kind of moments now we're getting, like he hasn't been a dad in a while.
Yeah.
So kind of like it's like familiar, but also new to him. And I think in this episode, we're seeing that he's kind of, the walls are coming down a bit.
Yeah.
By the end, especially.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Which I thought that was probably my favorite scene. The way it brings you to the end and kind of does the joke callback, and I was laughing with them. But I guess before we get there, so what did you guys think about reaching Kansas City? So this was a big moment in the game. I feel like that whole little car ride, and then you get to a new city, people jump them, and we kind of get, I guess it's not really our first action scene, but it's kind of one of our first real human-on-human action scenes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like a big, we are with Joel and Ellie having like an action scene. It's the first one of those. Which is basically the whole rest of the game.
I love the second game did this more than the first one, but both have this theme where it's like, the zombies suck, but other people suck worse. And that definitely was like a major part of like, I don't know, civilization breaking down, kind of a second national order. And I do appreciate how they gave us a story for that rather than just saying, here are the bad guys. Like we got another character. We got and I love that actress. I forget.
Yeah, Kathleen.
Yeah, so we got Kathleen.
Kathleen,
I forget the actress's name.
She's in a lot of stuff, and
she's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I usually like her in it, so she was solid.
And she just has like this. I don't know. I always see her play like. I feel like she kind of has some of these characters where she's like very sweet sounding, but then she's like a little scary, and they really played into that. And I appreciated like how, I don't know, I appreciated like actually having like a leader, and you could feel why people were following her orders, and like with the charisma behind it, and kind of how she was making decisions, and it was cool. Oh, and her bodyguard was the voice actor who was Tommy in the game.
That was cool little Easter egg cool thing they did. I feel like they're doing a lot of that, right? Have we already I don't know if
Marlene.
Marlene, so they're kind of bringing some elements of the game, even the voice acting, right, into the real show, which is really cool.
Yeah that's great.
I keep waiting for Druckmann and Mazin to be like zombies or something, or just like dead bodies that they roll by.
like a Stan Lee cameo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like less silly, they're just like dead.
I'm very intrigued by Kathleen's enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's
her
out
enemy?
for, I don't know, she's out for blood.
Right.
Some like, what's his name? Harold, or I don't know.
Hank.
Oh, Henry?
Henry. Hank?
Henry.
I don't
Yeah.
Henry.
Yes.
Yeah, she's like, who is this evil person, and what? And like, I love how she just automatically pinned the two deaths that Joel / maybe also Ellie a little bit
Yeah.
Right.
created
Yeah.
on Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Henry's
No,
work.
no reason to believe that.
Right. But that's the thing. It's interesting. It's like kind of this is our first encounter with like another group of people that it seems that they've taken over a QZ, right? So there's kind of lawlessness, a bit of lawlessness. Well, maybe less dictatorship, but now, kind of the things that happen with a new group of people, and they kind of take on a little bit more authoritarian like roles in, the world, and they kind of, survival, right? So like she's a leader. So to keep momentum, right? It seems like she's sort of, there's just being a leader. It's like, okay, now they're the target now, and, us versus them kind of thing. And to keep the community and keep the group together, I guess. So like
You need a common enemy in order to keep the group unified.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like it was totally an ambush, right? Like the first ambush kind of situation. And I remember that part in the game specifically because I know we were leaving the QZ and like we were getting chased by Fedra, I think, in the game, but getting to a new city was new. And that was going to be like, oh, okay, there might be zombies or whatever, but I think I'm more afraid of the people because they can use guns and stuff. And they might be a little bit smarter in the way that they chase you down. So
smarter than zombies.
I mean, no echolocation, but yeah.
Literal mushrooms with legs.
Something else they brought in with the people that I really appreciated, and I feel like this was a nod to the second game, or maybe it was just like, once you did it in the second game, you realize like, oh, that was more realistic, and it should have always been like this. But them using each other's names as they cut people down. So like Joel kills somebody, I can't remember any of their names, but like the enemies are yelling out each other's names. They're not just like And even in most movies, people don't really do that, right? They seem to not care about each other. That they're just like gonna keep shooting at you, and so you completely dehumanize them.
Or something.
And instead they're like, they shot so and so and whatever. And then obviously the way that escalates to Ellie saving Joel, shooting the one kid kind of in the back. I think it implies that she must have shot his spine, because then there's a moment where he's like, I don't know what to do. I can't feel my legs. And he's like freaking out and saying different things. Like that was all pretty powerful. Like that. I thought that was really well done.
And he was like desperate. He was like, I'll tell them you're cool. Like, please just anything. He was just like throwing everything out as a solution to them not killing him.
Take me to my mom.
Yeah.
It definitely was a powerful moment where you're like kind of, it humanizes the enemy a bit, right? In this case, like the people they were facing. And you kind of realize that, these people are just all people in the same shit situation that everyone else is in. And they have to do like really terrible stuff sometimes, including seems like Joel even had to kind of, I think he mentions it later in the episode to Ellie. She's
like, how did you know?
Yeah,
and he says
how we knew.
How do you know they're innocent? But I don't know. It's kind of like, crazy.
I thought it was interesting when Ellie asked Joel if he's ever killed innocent people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
He said he didn't want to talk about it, right? Is that what he said?
He said he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And also Ellie said,
he just sighs or something, but it's completely dismissive.
Yeah. And then Ellie doesn't want to talk about her first time shooting somebody. Because that was kind of a big reveal. Like Joel was like, I know like what it does to you mentally to hurt somebody like that, and let me know if you need to talk. Like, it was I don't know, a valiant effort. But still kind of clunky.
Like rusty, like shaking off the rusty dad lines,
exactly.
like trying to figure out how to emotionally fit, again.
So,
yeah.
And I think it's just like they're kind of supposed to be the same age-ish, like kind of similar to
Sarah.
His daughter, right? Yeah. The two things I did appreciate in this, and maybe just because maybe I was looking for it, but like the game mechanics that they kind of carried over through this. So like maybe this is a stretch, but the cover system. Okay, there's a cover system involved in like the way that he fought the baddies in the beginning, the ambush. And then I think later on they do this a couple times, but like Ellie kind of goes off and helps Joel like unlock doors, go through walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there was that. I do remember
he like
in the game.
gives her a boost through some tall window.
Right.
Yeah. That was great.
So those little nods to the game, but they're totally realistic, right?
And I'm pretty sure they crashed in the game. I'm pretty sure when they crash into the laundromat. That happens in the game too. It's also a laundromat.
Oh, is it also?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure that layout is
perfect.
almost the same.
Yeah.
Like, literally the cabinety drying table-y thing that he crouches behind, I think is what you can use in the game.
Yeah.
And how the guy came through that door, at least in my memory of playing it, someone definitely did sneak behind me at some point. Like, but probably because I suck. But like, I had a similar feeling of like someone's gonna be behind him, and then they were.
And I like the holes in the wall. Like that was definitely a game thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys notice the little? It like clearly foreshadowing of the bloater. When Kathleen and her mercenary they find that area where the ground is all fucked up and like sinking in, and they're like, whoa, don't tell anybody yet.
I thought it was a sinkhole.
I think that's what the bloater is going to come out of. Because then in the preview for the next episode, you see it like, brrr.
Yeah.
He looks like the dung eater. The dung eater is coming.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
So you think there's like mycelium under there that's going to sprout a human?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean come out of?
So the bloater...
I mean, I'm curious to see how they do it. I'm not sure. But just like, I feel like that's what's going to happen right there.
The bloater is the fourth stage of the infection where... I've been looking all of this up very recently. Where where like big old, like basically like they're giant and they get like these big like almost like armor plates of like fungus over them, and they're very difficult to kill. And they also can like, don't they throw stuff at you? They throw like poison clouds.
Yeah.
And
right. I think that's like the added.
Yeah. God, I don't remember the sinkhole thing. I didn't remember that, but like obviously we don't get that viewpoint.
Yeah,
in
me
the game,
either.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Maybe
Definitely
it's some kind of new mechanic as well.
I was gonna say I'm not sure if it's just straight up new or not. I can't remember it well enough, like how you do that fight with him. I remember dying there a lot and getting frustrated the very first time I played that game.
In the gym?
Yeah.
Yes.
And being like, this is fucking stupid. Why would you make it if you can't beat it?
Oh, right.
God, that was awful.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something in the next episode, right? Because, not dealing with it then, it's going to bite him in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It's I would assume, okay, here's my prediction, because of what I feel like they're giving us, and it would be a really easy way to keep characters moving. So they end up doing the Henry and Sam stuff, which, Jackie, if you don't remember it, I won't tell you everything that happens there.
Okay. I wasn't sure what their names were. The two. They
say it. They do drop it a couple times.
They do.
Kathleen, when she's running around, is like, if he's got Sam with him, then he's gonna feed him, or blah blah blah.
Right.
And they find like the pictures, and she's saying something about it.
Yeah.
His drawings.
Superman drawings.
But basically, they're gonna do that plot for a bit. Then the people are gonna come to them, and we're going to need to get Ellie and Joel out of there by the end of the episode, though, probably. So then they're going to be like, all right, well, this was all really great, but I don't know if we want to keep them here another episode, or like these people we've kind of made up. Like, do we want to keep them going? Oh, okay. Why don't we have the bloater pop up? We have a crazy action scene. Ellie and Joel can fucking slip away and these people stay behind dealing with this thing they had, and then that way, if we need to write any of them out of the story, we just mean that the fucking bloater took care of them, so then that's gone. Ellie and Joel can move on without anyone following them for a few days.
Yeah.
And we can just tie this whole thing up in a bow so we can like move on. Because like the thing is, in the game, you leave zones and you mentally are like, well, that stuff was in that zone and I left that level, because that's how your brain works as a gamer, right? But now they're gonna have to like kind of package stuff off sometimes, probably.
Yeah, I am very interested to relearn Henry and Sam's whole story.
Yeah, same.
What was I saying? I don't remember. My
You
thoughts float away.
Cool. I'm stoked. And it's coming real soon, actually, because they got out of the way of the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Which I feel more like
Wait, isn't
they
Kansas
graciously gave that to the Super Bowl.
I would
Isn't
agree with
Kansas
that.
City one of the Super Bowl teams?
Yes.
That's funny.
I don't know.
It is.
Honestly, okay. You want to know? You want to know how I know?
Sports.
The reason I know is because I get emails from my favorite barbecue place, and one of them,
Of course, it's a food way.
the subject line was "Kansas City is our pick," and it was about Super Bowl, like let us cater your Super Bowl party. And I was like, oh, I guess Kansas City is in the Super Bowl.
It's the Kansas City and Philadelphia.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is where they were going in the game. That's so funny.
Oh, so
Yeah, that's true.
according
Actually,
to
yes.
The Last of Us
I was gonna say.
so The Last of Us show is back in Kansas City, and The Last of Us game is back in Philadelphia.
Oh, I like this.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Who would
We'll find out which one's the better one.
Could have made some money if, those sports and games collided. You could have been like, oh yeah, obviously it's going to be Kansas City and Philadelphia. Oh, they would have figured it out. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, before we get there you go. Before we get to God of War, before we get to God of War, I wanted to let everyone know listening, in case they were planning on not staying for the full God of War talk, we're going to open God of War a little bit more of a high level discussion about how much we're enjoying it and what's hooking us so far before we go into the moment to moment.
And story time. I have a good story.
And there's story time. There you go.
Story time
All
with
right.
Jackie.
So, yeah, catch us right after for, like, who's liking it and why.
What'd you do for your birthday?
Okay, so on Sunday, Rob and I got together with the ladies. So, okay, sorry. Let me take a step back.
I want to know about this, Billy.
Well, I mean, I assume, well.
Now what I was going to set it up with is only for everyone listening, keep Jackie's dirty mind as your lens, because it'll only make the setup funnier now.
All right.
I always see, as you guys know, I see my birthday essentially as an opportunity to convince people to play game-like things with me that they would not normally do. So like in the past, we threw murder mystery parties and things like that, right? So I thought, like, what is something that I've been wanting to do that these guys wouldn't do? Jackie, there, you can insert your dirty mind.
It's my birthday.
Yeah. And so I went in my closet where all the furry outfits are. No, that's not. They're not in the closet. They're not. They're in cases protected.
Yeah,
of course.
course.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Okay,
Vacuum
moms are
sealed.
bitch.
Yeah. So the cats can't get to them. Anyway, one of my favorite writers, Kevin Williamson, who is the original writer of Scream, also wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer, which was actually an adaptation of a book, but still wrote the screenplay, plus Dawson's Creek, which is like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's a left turn.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a left turn.
Well, it's still teenagers and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Still same.
Yeah, still
cast.
good at
Teenage
same
hijinks.
dialogue.
Still cast, but just a different, I guess, genre.
Yeah, they don't get hacked up. Anyway, some other good ones like The Faculty, Scream 2, Scream 4.
Oh, Faculty, yeah.
He was executive producer on MTV's Scream Season 1, which actually is like pretty good. Sleeper hit. Anyway, he had a new movie that just came out called Sick, which takes place in the pandemic in 2020 when pandemic is fresh and there's no vaccine. And it is a slasher. and little murder mystery, like things going on with that. And it was a blast. And it was really funny because Sam is like not into these kind of movies, but you know, watched it. And she like at one point, the next day she was like, "Oh, I hurt my neck from one of the scenes. I turned away too fast."
Oh my god!
Like she tweaked her neck.
That's hilarious.
She gave herself a flash from like just not looking.
Oh my god,
that's great.
You can get injured from watching a movie.
Yeah, that's only the best. I highly recommend that to people who want kind of a funny, clever, a couple unexpected twists for a movie like that. But nothing like big, just like he's just really clever at breaking tropes. So
what's the name again?
Sick.
Is that out in theater? Did you guys go watch it in theater or
Peacock?
Oh, Peacock.
Oh,
yeah, Peacock bought it.
Oh man, you see too many streaming services. I'm already.
Yeah, I borrowed it from a friend of the show, Corey, and watched it.
Oh,
yep.
There you go. When you can.
Corey hasn't sent us any corrections recently.
True. Probably because he beat God of War like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's
true. He's a quick pooper.
He
pooped quick with he got a poop a war.
I forget what with the
Speaking of poop a wars, let's talk at a high level quickly. Check in because we are
more than halfway.
We're past halfway.
Are we past halfway? Oh, really?
Past halfway.
Interesting.
And this one is going to end with a pretty big, I think, foreshadow of what what the rest of the game will be. I think so. It really feels like a turning point in the game as well. What are you guys thinking so far? Or Kayla, you start. You had some thoughts you were wanting to share.
I want it to hook me, and it just won't. I
feel like you're breaking up with someone. It's like, I want us to be in love. We're just not.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not you.
It's not me. It's you.
Yeah, right.
No.
It's actually, it's
actually, I've been
me.
doing a lot of digging. It's not me. I'm a badass.
I'm perfect.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
But I just like I was wrapping up like our chapters for this recording, and I was just like, there's a spot where they're like, now is a great time to do some side quests, and I'm just like, I don't want to do any of these.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I have no motivation. In the first game, I had in the first God of War, I had so much motivation to like do all of the side quests and find all of the Valkyries and like do all of the things. And like this one, I just cannot bring myself to care. And
Valkyries,
How very Billy of you.
It's very Billy of me. I just
it
cannot.
feels refreshing to be on the other side of listening to it.
Oh wait, you're the Billy. Wait.
Oh, look at me! I am the Billy now.
Yeah.
But like, no, I'm not having a great time. It's fine. But
what are your highs and lows so far? Would you say? What's the thing that's working the best for you, and what's the thing that's bumping you the hardest?
It's visually amazing. I love looking everywhere. I will not get tired of the scenery. The combat is engaging and fun, although Atreus's is definitely still feeling a little bit better for me. But it's still engaging and fun. Like I don't know, the companion system is still clunky and like a little bit weird for me, but like mostly it's just the universe is fun to look at. So that's probably my highs. And like, it's not that the story is bad. I just am not getting any of I think the low is that like the stakes haven't been set for me. Like I don't really get, there doesn't ever appear to actually be any danger. There's just never actually any danger.
Kratos is gonna die. We saw it in the prophecy.
He's
danger
not
looming.
Gonna die. Like
danger looming.
Like I just don't believe it. You know, it's like I got this way with Assassin's Creed 2, where it's just like nothing feels real. Like nothing. Like I don't feel like I have any stakes. Like okay, yeah, Atreus is somewhere, but he's safe. And like he's not under threat of death. Like, you know, Kratos is somewhere and he's probably safe. It's like I don't know, there's nothing actually seems dire.
I think a problem a lot of people face after a FromSoft game is a lot of games they play don't feel like they have stakes. No, really, I really think
true.
that they really try to chase that high again, and you can't.
Yeah.
You start to find so many games to just don't make your hands sweat.
We're coming off,
and like that's definitely a thing. Is that like I'm playing it on like the regular mode, and I'm playing on standard, and
of course,
and it's just not as hard. Like I definitely
but
die
even if you bump it up, you
but,
lose nothing if you die, right? You just pop right back up. You just reload. You're right back in. So it's all the small. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to get anything cool.
You guys buy resurrection stones or whatever the hell they're fucking called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys buy them? Do you guys buy it? No.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I did buy one.
I don't care.
But like I don't know. It just is like there are no stakes. I'm not going to get anything cool. I have the 2 weapons that I'm going to be here with. And, until the end of the game. And, like, maybe I can level them up, but I'll still do a decent amount of damage to anything. So, like, it doesn't really matter. There's too many combinations to remember. I'm not going to remember all of them. So I don't care about buying skills. Like, I just buy them. And it's like, I don't remember what these do. I just don't have, I can't tell if it's just information overload or not enough information.
Yeah.
I can't customize. It's just kind of, there's this shell of a thing. And that's all I get to do is, like, fill in the blank. And I don't know.
You don't spend time reading the lore behind every armor set.
I don't. I do, but like there's this much.
But there's not a whole lot.
Well, there's not really There is a specific there's a little bit of a story or some stuff written in there. I don't really go, but it's like I'm less invested in it somehow. Yeah.
Did you guys pick up Linda's lost armor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't read it though because I didn't care.
I'm wearing it. It's pretty good. It's cool. I like
green,
that.
Red, plus, minus. That's all I look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such an Alan answer.
The one from Alfheim slows down time when you dodge right. That one
That's the one I'm still using for that reason.
It's a solid.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also because it's the last time I felt like doing side quests. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to do a side quest again, so I'm not going to probably ever get any better gear than this, so I'll leave this on.
See, and that side quest did have a stake. Like a little bit. Like it kind of fell shallow at the end of it. But like for a while you're like, there's a crazy noise out here. We don't know what it is.
I was very curious.
Let's go find out. I was curious.
Visual treat.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, a visual treat.
As I got away from that quest, I was like, that wasn't worth it. But
yes. Yeah, the flying jellyfish.
Yeah. It was cool.
There's like
not as good as Elden Ring's jellyfish story though. That was a fucking
I never finished it.
Oh yeah.
You find out that the jellyfish spirits are the spirits of dead children.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And that the specific one that you have, your jellyfish spirit, is like a specific younger daughter of another jellyfish spirit that you can go and find, and if you're there you can summon it and it will there's a dialogue that happens between these two jellyfish spirits.
Yeah, they reunite and they go to the stars or the moon or something. I forget.
Yeah, they go to the stars.
Yeah.
There's something about
precious.
It is
that with no mocap or production value of not the same equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
That just resonates stronger for me. Where it's like that was so much more powerful than like I don't know. It's not like those other things are bad because they're definitely not. And the mocap is good. Some of the dialogue is awesome. And maybe it's just that there's so much that it doesn't feel like it's reduced down to those core moments that could really resonate if this were maybe like a 10-hour adventure, as opposed to that we're at halfway and I'm at like 15 hours or something. And Kratos just now said the thing I've been waiting for, where he's like, let's go kill some gods. And I was like, that's why I bought the game, dog. Like, what have we been doing?
Yeah.
I do like the voice acting is just amazing and tremendous.
Yeah.
And there is no doubting the artistry. My other big gripe though is that we keep getting new characters that we have apparently already met, and I don't remember any of that bullshit. Like Ratatosk we talked about a little bit about the squirrel. Apparently we've met him, don't remember him, but like I feel like we're always hitting somebody and we're like, oh, it's good to see you again. And it's just like, who are you? The game was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Can we get a recap? Like, who are you? Why do I care?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I just
Well,
don't
then
care.
they give you the recap like when you're in one of the boat equivalents.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm an idiot. So like when I'm driving a sled or a boat thing, I do not listen that much to what they're talking about. I'm looking at like where I want to go. I'm wondering what that thing is.
Look for barrels to smash.
Yeah, I'm like playing. Yeah. I'm playing. And then, do you know, it reminds me of like what Grand Theft Auto did 20 years ago or something, where it's like when you're driving the car to a mission, they're like, hey, I'm going to tell you backstory if you can't drive to that mission fast enough. And you're like, okay, whatever. I don't really care. But like, this is impressive, but I don't really care. It's just kind of immersive. And I feel like that's what all that stuff is. Like, technically amazing, but it doesn't emotionally do a lot for me.
Right. I'm missing the emotional connection.
And that's what did God of War win anything?
Pretty much everything except for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one Elden Ring.
Okay, I remember the nominations, but it did win like best story.
That I don't know. Did it win best story? Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think Elden Ring story is better. Sorry, we haven't finished this one, and that's like people.
This
probably
one is easier to follow.
Oh, and I think that's true.
Written more, but I technically think like if I played both games, the story I experienced as a player was more interesting in Elden Ring. Even if I feel some of that in myself in the way it does stuff, I just Jackie disagrees.
Nah.
Jackie, no.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think the story here is a little bit more like the game, a little bit more on rails. It's you're kind of on every beat of the story. You're not leaving the story too far, it's not too far removed from like what you're doing at all times.
Catching it's like catching tiny different branches of the tree that you don't even
right.
It can go over your head so easily. You have to like analyze everything about some area or some object, like, oh, if you didn't read the thing on the wall you wouldn't know, like, fuck, I can't, that's too much.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just there was something about that world that made me want to do all that because it was so new and unknown, whereas this one has enough familiarity that while there is depth, I'm not intrigued to go into it. Like, all right.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that for me is missing to kind of like fulfill me in the story and a lot of what we're doing. I feel like one, I think what kind of doesn't have going for it right now is we're retreading like similar areas that we have been to in the past. So some of that is like they're trying to spin off. Like we went to Alfheim in the beginning, so that was a little slower because I was like, okay, now we're just doing it a different way. Svartalfheim is new, so some of these places are like old, but New Midgard is still the same, pretty much, just frozen. So there's that. So it's sort of they're trying to reinvent the wheel, right?
The curtains change colors.
Yeah. And then the thing I miss about
cubes.
Not those curtains.
Those different curtains.
Oh no, the hair is the curtains. The other one's the rug.
We waxed those curtains off.
What was I saying?
Oh boy.
Alice lost his focus.
What I'm missing is sort of like these big moments, like these. These different areas have a sense of bosses, but like to me, the boss that really like kind of tested me was the portal dragon. Nidhogg, right?
Yeah.
Like, that felt like we're not going into areas being like, okay, we're gonna hit like, Renala. We're not gonna hit, like all these like big bosses that we kind of were set up in Elden Ring for. I don't feel like that too much.
And that's what the old God of War games.
I'm Alan, and fighting isn't hard for me.
No, it's not that. I mean, but I guess I'm still chasing that rush too. Although, like the portal, that dragon, like was hard for me, and I felt like that's when I really felt like God of War was really getting fun because I started getting to what I liked about it in the 2018 version, right? Like I felt like it was. I was starting switching the weapons. Like I was starting to switch. I would mostly use the axe, and then. Exhaust all the power-ups there or whatever. And then I remember I was like, I used to switch to the Blades of Chaos and then like use those and like go back and forth between like the cooldowns, right? And that like helped, but
that's smart.
I haven't had the opportunity too much to do that. And that was a fight where I was like, oh shit, I should just like switch to Blades of Chaos, even though it kind of like is a bit of a extra thing, but and then the Valkyries, like we haven't had the Valkyries yet. Like I don't.
Yeah,
like,
where are they?
Or like a version of them. I feel like I fought one in Midgard, like something of a version of it.
Well, in the story you do.
Yeah, I guess in the story,
just because it's actually what's her name,
and those were the hardest fight. Those were like the most exciting fights. I feel like in the 20.
Oh, you mean where the equivalent?
Fights,
the Valkyrie equivalent.
Yeah, where's
the Valkyrie equivalent is Draugrs, which I just have no emotional connection to.
Oh, the Draugr holes?
Oh, no,
that's
but
the
there's is there, because in Midgard I fought something that was kind of pretty challenging, but it was like a something else, and I feel like they're setting up like a similar, I forget what they're called.
The king thing?
Yes, the king thing. Is that what?
I didn't finish that yet. Okay.
What king thing?
So yeah, there's like these tombstones that you like activate, and then you get like invaded by like this like warrior or whatever, and you fight them, and I think you're collecting them basically, similar to how we collected the Valkyries. So
like an Everjail.
Yeah, right. So I think there's something they're trying to replicate there, but I don't know. We'll see.
I noped right out of there.
Yeah. No, it was
I got one shot at it and was like, all right, I'm not meant for this right now.
Yeah, that was
I tried it and then I was like, I don't care. But
again, like they didn't set it. I feel like I might have missed the story, or like you're saying, I didn't feel like I was like the Valkyries. I was engaged in because we were like kind of set up a little bit more with the story. Yeah, saving them, and there was some story behind it. These, I feel like I might have missed a story somewhere as to why I care.
Yeah,
they tied out to Sigrun, who is the queen of the Valkyries, who is suspiciously missing. But that's all I know.
Huh.
Who apparently was like Mimir's.
Oh yeah,
was Mimir's partner?
Yes,
wife.
Apparently.
Oh, I remember hearing like surely Mimir, you didn't think you were Sigrun's first love.
Yes, and he was like, yes, I did think that, which is funny.
Huh.
Jackie, how's this feeling for you?
Yeah, no.
Overall.
How you feeling?
I am sufficiently challenged by the enemies. I just, finished up our homework this evening, and I fully expected to be recording and saying, sorry, I didn't find the Norns. I am stuck on the Frost Phantom.
That thing took me a while. That thing
took me a while. Bitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was that the thing that just looked like a globe? You're fighting a globe?
Yeah, with a tail.
The purple ice monster.
Yeah, like little, ice, like little crystals and stuff.
Yeah, I could consistently, almost every time, get it down to like 3/4. And then it would murder me. But, okay, so I think for my highs and lows, I really enjoy the cutscenes. Like, make this a movie. Make it like that, Bandersnatch, the Netflix like interactive movie.
Yeah.
Make it that. I would take that instead of like I said, the combat is sufficiently challenging to me, but I'm not interested in the side quests. It's just I'm not itching to go back to Svartalheim to fart some more limes,
Yep.
Yeah.
Understandable. Yes.
And I know that there is a second Hafkafa that needs to be freed. And I haven't done it yet.
No. Yeah. Not even the animals will take you to the side quests.
That's part of where, like, I think one of the biggest things for me is a lot of, not every area, and some of the areas are brand new and they have really been interesting to me, but a lot of the areas and a lot of the content does feel like stuff I've kind of done before, so it just doesn't pull me in. And even Jackie, you just hit like a great point. So I freed the first jellyfish, and literally when you finish, they're like, sounds like you could do the same thing again behind this gate. And I like literally was like, I'm fucking out. Are you kidding me? Is this like what about that did you think was going to be interesting to set up that way?
I really enjoyed Vanaheim because of the dangerous plants.
See those
I would go back to Vanaheim for another side quest, but I finished what is it? Lunda's mysterious orb.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was kind of funny, actually.
Freya like destroying every fragment of her marriage.
Yes, that was the side quest there, right? Yep.
Yeah.
I
think I'm done.
am so pumped though, because the way, I guess, like, minor spoilers, because I'm guessing we're gonna go through the 2 chapters a little quickly after this, but you end with Kratos finding out that he needs to go to Valhalla, or no, they're not Valhalla. Asgard. Right.
Asgard.
Yes.
Yeah. Needs to go to Asgard to start killing some gods.
Yep.
And that, I know that there's been this whole move to like, no, you don't get it. The reason 2018 God of War is good and the reason this one's good is because Kratos has changed and he doesn't do that before. But I'm a little bit like, but also it's a game. And what was great about the old games, kind of like what you were saying with Elden Ring, Alan, is many times zone, like a specific zone was leading towards the boss of that zone. And you would always, because we all know Greek mythology so well because it was taught, I guess, when we were pups, that like you would start to know who that boss is probably going to be, who that god's going to be based on what you've been working through. And then it is, and they made it epic, and they made you feel so crazy for killing that god. And it just felt like such a scale. And then you would do it again. And it would happen like periodically throughout the whole game. And in this game, they keep talking about how he's such a god killer, which I hope is because we're working up to stuff. But like we haven't done any of that, right? And in the first game, I think the only god you kill is the very end. And he's basically the... Or wait, you kill Thor's kids, I guess. I always forget that even happened in that game. It felt like such a small moment for some reason. Or maybe that fight was just easy and I just like forget that I even did it.
It was not an easy fight.
I forget. But do we fight them a couple times or just that one time?
I have like no good memory of that moment.
Was it just the one?
All I remember is that Atreus is the one that kills the one that's like on the ground and still alive and is asking you not to. And Atreus stabby stab. Stabby stab.
Yep. Anyway, I'm stoked to see us getting back on course for like, or at least what I would like to see of crazy, insane moments I couldn't dream up. They took it even farther and we're fighting gods. Like, I'm stoked for that. I'm a little done with the run of the mill, like, he's behind you, brother. Like, no, get out of here with the minions. Like, I'm done. I don't need any more rats sneaking up behind me.
You're on fire.
You're on fire, brother.
You're on fire.
He's behind you.
It'll pass. Great.
It'll pass. Yeah.
It'll pass.
I love when Freya says, "Incoming! Back here!"
I assume this is the Jackie lens again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, I'm putting it in your butt. Watch out. Watch your butt.
I like when you then, it's like, we're using subtlety and not saying the real thing, and then you instead just go like, I'm talking about the butt.
No,
talking about people
in
going
the butt.
In the
right
butt.
into it.
In there.
In case there was any confusion. Children.
Boy.
Talking about alert, it's coming for the butt. That's a mod we should put out. All right, so I actually really enjoyed this chapter with Atreus because I think the character Thor and the actor for Thor is fucking awesome. And I loved how broody he was and everything. And the Atreus combat was, for some reason, I don't know, maybe they just make it easier for him. I think I said that before, but I find his combat really smooth right now.
Yeah, I think they scaled down the difficulty a bit, but it's still
that is the
challenging.
other thing that's grabbing me about the game. The only thing that's really grabbing me about the game is their reads on these gods and like the way that they're changing those stories. Like, especially after this chapter, like the character of Odin, the character of Thor, just like, okay, this is an interesting spin, and the character of Heimdall, just like, this is an interesting spin on these characters, like who you. And think I mean, of as,
Sif and Thrud are interesting too.
They are. They are fascinating, and so it's just like,
okay. I loved seeing Sif and her friggin' hair and being like, oh, that's why Thor was so mad when he woke up to a bald lady.
Oh, right.
No, wait a minute.
The story time that I told that one time.
Are you not seeing her current hair as already the golden hair?
Oh, he does have Mjolnir, so...
I was thinking that is the golden hair.
Oh, that's right. Well,
yeah.
It's still.
I'm sure that it would
to your
replicate.
point, she's beautiful with it, and they would make it look the same. But I just meant like I was reading it as it is the golden hair already.
I
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's true.
Yeah. You're right. And Thrud, I thought Thrud was really interesting because, you know, when you meet her, she just like bursts into your room and is like, "This is my dead brother's bedroom. You killed him." And I was like, oh shit, it's another Freya. But then she was like, just kidding. He was kind of messed up and we're better off without him. Oh,
yeah,
God.
he kind of sucked or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if that whole thing. Well, so that continues with Thor on this quest, right?
Yeah.
So Thor is obviously going on this bit disgruntled, and one thing I really love is he's not acting like the other companions in combat, like in actual gameplay. So you can't tap square like an idiot to make him do stuff, and he sometimes will just stop fighting and let you fight, and then he might just swoop in and kill everybody you're like really working on, and everyone's just dead instantly. So that mechanic is super cool and says a lot about his character, which is always fun, I think, when you put the character into the gameplay mechanics. So that's cool. And then I did at first, he addresses it, but at first I was like, why are you cool with that I like killed your sons? He does eventually talk about it. He does
address it. It seems like he sort of, he mentions like, you know, like your dad repaid me for blood payment or whatever, but you haven't yet, so heads up.
Which how did Kratos repay him? I'm still confused. So like if you killed somebody and you needed a blood payment or whatever they call it, right? Blood payment. Doesn't that mean he needs to kill Kratos? Like what element of that fight was... Because doesn't he stop because Kratos makes him bleed?
Yeah,
so
right.
Just like he wanted to bleed?
Right. I don't know if it's because he like showed him like his true self, like the God of War, and that was like enough for him to like.
That's what you said before, and that makes the most sense to me. That it's like, he went to rage. I broke you emotionally, maybe.
Yeah, I don't really know what the definition of that or what it entails. It's not gonna be a good time for Loki, I guess. Yeah.
I wonder if that's...
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think in the prophecy panel that we saw, it looks like Thor is the one that kills Kratos.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if that's like, if Kratos takes it as in exchange for Atreus, like the blood payment.
Oh, I can see
interesting. That. Thor. So I have a question for Billy and Alan, because Kaylee already knows or has already been asked.
Kaylee knows all.
Did either of you ever listen to Panic at the Disco? Maybe even just in passing on the radio?
Yes.
So you know that one song that's like, "What a Beautiful Wedding."
Yep.
But what a shame! What a shame! The poor groom's bride is a W word. Just kidding.
Yeah.
It's whore. The W word is whore.
We just did a whole
the W word
talk about butt stuff, and now it's like, I can't quote those lyrics.
Yeah.
The poor groom's bride.
Jackie's canceled.
Is a whore. So I will credit Kaylee for sending me this very funny. Was it a tweet or a Reddit post or something?
I don't know, something like that.
It was like a Mad Lib. People were putting new endings on this lyric. The poor groom's bride is blank. So someone commented, the poor groom's bride is Thor. And
which is an actual legend.
Is an actual legend. Thor was a bride at one point.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did hear that. To the giants, right? Or no?
To a giant. So
that's why he probably hates them so much.
No,
I wonder.
I've not heard this. No, I have not heard this.
Okay, story time. So, Thor wakes up without his hammer, and he's upset. He's like, where the hell did my hammer go? Immediately goes to Loki and is like, what'd you do with my hammer? And Loki's like, I didn't friggin' touch it, bro. But I'll help you find it. And he tracks it down to this really ugly, smelly old giant, which, God help me if I can figure out how some no-name giant like stole Thor's hammer. But he did it. And he's holding it ransom for Freya. He wants to marry Freya. Everybody freaking loves Freya and wants to marry her. Like, that's how the wall got built, right? The wall around Asgard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so Loki's like, okay, I will deliver the message. Goes back and tells everybody, all right, well, so, Freya's got to marry this ugly-ass old giant in order for Thor to get his hammer back. And Freya's like, he can keep the hammer. But Thor's like, no, this will not do. And their solution is to dress up Thor as a bride. And Loki also agreed to dress up as a bridesmaid. And then to go, yeah.
That's classic.
To
Loki.
Go visit. Go to this giant and get married and yada yada. And so they arrive and, Loki is being the cunning one, being like, what? Where's the fresh hay on this muddy path? The bride Freya will not step on this dirt, just all the pomp and whatever. And Thor's got the veil on and he's looking very dolled up, like all of the finery on him. And the giant is like friggin' turned on. He is so excited. And he goes to like reach for the veil and Loki's like, no, not yet. But the giant caught a glimpse of Thor's eyes and he's like, oh my God. My bride's eyes are so violent and vicious. And Loki's like, that is the passion of love. You're about to know Freya's passion. And but first they have the wedding feast before they can go to bed. And they have this big spread, and the specific detail that I remember is that Thor ate 7 entire salmons. Just downing
bride.
Fish. Yeah. Oh, and salmon, an ox. Yeah. And he also ate an entire ox. And the giant the giant is like, okay, yeah, what that's she likes to eat, huh? And Loki's like, do you know how hard it was to fit into this dress? Something like that. I don't know. Just like, she's been so lovesick. She hasn't eaten in 2 weeks.
Oh, I see.
Just making up excuses left and right for Thor.
I love it.
And then finally, once Thor has downed, like 8 barrels of mead or whatever, they're like, okay, let's do the wedding. Where's the wedding present? Let me see Mjolnir. And they bring out Mjolnir and he fucking smashes him, That's it.
And then he fights you, mean? So he takes it and kills the giant or something?
Yeah, not smashes, it's in like the other way that Billy was hoping we
So it's not about the butt.
Okay, I shouldn't have said smash. Mm-hmm. Thor uses Mjolnir on the giant's
Is that a metaphor?
Head. No!
Because that could still...
Billy, the hammer is his penis.
It's
Exactly.
short but
And
powerful.
You can use that on a head.
You can't get two hands on it.
The only hand that can wield this hammer is my own.
Mm.
Wow.
Lightning comes out sometimes. I don't have full control over that. It's just kind of a thing that happens.
I just, I'm so tickled by the image of Thor dressed up as a bride, fucking stuffing his face.
Yeah.
That is funny. That is good.
Yeah.
Your story also made me miss the like silver tongue Loki. Like,
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
that has to like stay out in front of Thor being a dumbass and be like, oh, he's ruining it again. What can I say?
Yeah, just
Oh.
covering the whole thing.
Dumbass. The when Loki delivered the ransom message, he said the giant wants Freya's hand in marriage, and Thor was like, "Oh, just her hand? No,
Yep.
Wow.
all of her."
Okay, so back to this. So you run around, you have some pretty fun stuff with Thor, and mainly
we didn't talk
it's
about
just
why
combat.
we're running. We didn't talk about why we're running around.
Oh yeah,
today.
there's a yeah. Okay, get into that. So there's a hole, and there's a glory hole. So
Oh yeah.
Odin
Yeah.
has found a glory hole, and he put his eye up to it once and got poked, and that eye's
Yeah,
gone
yeah.
because of it.
You
And now
don't-
he wants to look again,
Isn't
and
that
he
a
needs
lie?
the mask to
You
do
don't
it.
look. You don't look through the glory.
Oh, I assume so, but this is what we know as a young man, a young guy.
I feel like
That's why he has
I
the
feel
eye patch.
like I thought that Odin was lying to Atreus about looking into the crack. Don't look at the crack, because I
Don't
thought
look
Don't-
I thought he lost his eye to Mimir for wisdom.
I mean,
Yeah, he gives up, and I think and we did see his noose, and so that's later. But so like part of these legends are true. So yeah, like I think in the mythology, he does give up an eye for wisdom.
Well, and I guess he said that all the answers are in that crack. So maybe it's still.
and let me tell you, boys at home, they are.
That's it. It's all the answers
They
are
are.
one.
They really are, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely it does start seeming like this is all sort of a fabricated thing to get Loki on board with the Aesir's, and I'm not entirely sure if the mask, although Loki and the mask, literally the mask, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey's
Sure.
mask.
Yeah. So that was a callback to actually
To
he
the
saw
mask.
to the mask, but he saw the mask. He saw the mask in his vision before Ironwood. Do you remember that?
Yes, he did. Yes,
we didn't
he
talk
did.
about it, but he did see it.
What
so I was
vision?
like, I forget what it was called.
Utengard, on the way to
Oh,
Ironwood.
The way to the weird whatever.
The weird
So before
sand.
that,
Yes.
Yes.
The PMS vision where
Yes.
there's all the little hymns. being
yes,
whiny,
he,
like assholes.
his
Yes.
Yep.
Loki's of past.
You're right.
Of assholes past. Yep.
There's a lot of butt in this episode.
Another butt title coming.
Yeah. So
Oh,
and then,
boy.
I think the butt episodes do get more views than the others, so I don't know. I mean, so Alan, sorry, you're
yeah, I'm just
Get us back
adding,
on.
I'm just adding meta tags to this whole episode.
Good.
Yeah, no, but the mask is used as like sort of a wayfinding tool. There you go, the little
Yeah.
to find the other half of
The other
or
half.
another piece of it. We don't complete it yet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and somehow Loki is able to read the runes or the language on the
Yeah.
mask.
Is it in Greek?
I was
I didn't get a good enough view of it, but I wonder if it's just in Greek.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
Which-
That'd be cool.
Well, that'd be kind of cool. It's
Odin
like
can't read it, or allegedly.
yeah.
Yeah, because he said it's not of the 9 realms, and then he just like sounded it out
Oh.
and was like, just guessed. We assume correctly,
Yeah,
like what he thought it meant.
He just started
crazy.
saying stuff. Yeah,
Merlach.
yeah.
I was
Right.
wondering if the mask was from one of the previous games, because it did seem like it was.
I
It
don't think
doesn't
so.
seem. It doesn't look. I don't know, Viking-y. I mean, I could picture it in like I don't know. It seemed more Greek Greek mass, Greek theater.
That'd be cool if they did something like that. It's
interesting.
ringing no bells for me. If they are doing that, they're like definitely keeping it super subtle, and then it'll be a surprise, I guess.
Yeah.
All I know is from Jim Carrey's The Mask.
It looks just like it.
Yeah, I think it is. I think Loki. I think they reference Loki in the movie.
Yes. Yeah.
With that guy or his therapist or whatever. Yeah. Because I think I don't know if it was Norse mythology.
Clear eyes.
Yeah.
That guy.
And it's because the Mask, he's like the Lord. He's like a mischievous like person in the movie, and he changes, his persona or like his.
I did.
He's able to change stuff. Yeah. It's quick. It's really quick.
Yeah. It's like
The Mask is a great film.
It's a great film.
National treasure. But this game has you doing that, and then essentially then let's go to Kratos, I think, right? So you do that and you collect a little piece of it.
Wait. We saw Angerboda.
Oh,
we visit Suitor's shrine, and we do see our first side chick shows up.
Right.
And
who he's still thirsty for, even though he also already likes Thor's daughter.
Yeah.
Thrud. Does he?
Yeah.
He likes anything, dude. He smells the butt.
Yeah, I think he's just...
There's a whole metaphor about Odin with the crack, and he's like,
yeah, he's a teenager. I mean, I think he's, not interested, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Angerboda's out looking for more giant marbles.
There's a lot of metaphors.
Yeah, giant marbles. Which is very odd.
Huh?
And she tells us something about the snake.
Yes,
the soul into.
It's growing.
Oh, it's getting
bigger.
Metaphors,
they keep coming.
Even I
It's
think
getting
it's getting bigger. The snake's getting bigger. That's crazy.
The snake's getting bigger. Unlike Thor's hammer, you know what I'm saying?
Hey. And somewhere,
might shoot lightning, but it's small.
Somewhere in that chapter or the one before, somewhere recently, and I was reminded of this, there is some piece of the mythology that one of the characters in the game mentions, where there's a rumor that Jormungandr, the world serpent, was actually thrown backwards in time.
Whoa.
And so I wonder if we are seeing, and Jormungandr is supposed to be the child of Loki, and so I can see...
And
Angerboda. So I can see where this is like the metaphor of, look, they created this life. It's getting bigger now.
Cool.
And it could be thrown backwards in time so that it is part of the first game. I could totally...
That's cool.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's super
That
cool.
could be cool. Yeah. I don't know what would cause that to happen, but...
And that's how Jormungandr knew to tell Atreus to go to Ironwood, because that's where he was born.
Go make me, you fucking idiot.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Do I have to spell it out for you?
Wow. Real Back to the Future type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
He is his own grandfather.
Oh, God.
So we saw Angerboda, and all that happened.
Yeah.
And Suitor's marble is empty.
Yes, which means that Suitor is not in the marble. Which makes
Who's
sense
that again?
because he's the fire... He's some sort of fire giant that caught that, like...
No, we killed him in Elden Ring.
We did. Well, kind of. He's like one of the ones that in Ragnarok actually does the destroying of Asgard.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is the prophecy we saw in the shrine.
The one that's supposed to like really bring about the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is not in the marble, so is somewhere.
He's out and about.
Cool.
And that prophecy was interesting because it showed like Suitor and some like frost queen.
Oh yeah.
Like Elsa or something. You know, they do it and become a chimera that destroys Asgard.
Oh
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, and they have a juvenile like chuckle about it. It's like, oh, wow, they're having more than...
Ooh, they're hugging.
Yeah.
Very close friends.
Yeah, very close friends. Yeah. So that was kind of funny. So yeah, Angerboda is off going against her own prophecy, and seems like she's going out to collect the marbles. Got to catch them all.
Okay, now we can move on to Asgard.
And then you and Kratos Kratos and Freya are gonna go Meet the fates.
Yes. Meet the fates.
The Norns.
The
Norns.
After
The
Tyr
Norns.
becomes...
Yeah.
Yeah. After Tyr is a little bitch, though, for a little while.
A little
Because that's
bitch.
also... Tyr is just a little... He's just being a little whiny butt all the time.
Do you mean, is that just when they're talking at the dinner table?
Just anytime Tyr opens his mouth.
Yeah.
So you can, I like usually just shoot to the quest right away and skip all.
Yeah.
Because like they're kind of there. And you kind of feel like, oh, this is while I can like upgrade my gear, or I can watch them or talk or interact, and I normally just like look at the door, and the door has the like quest marker on it. And I'm like, just sprint at it and push it open. Like, nope, we're all set. Don't care.
Good.
Yeah.
Mine was my witnessing of the dinner table conversation was funny because I was just standing behind Freya's chair as she's talking to Tyr, and then like they kind of just get mad and she stands up and walks away, and she like stands up and just stands like right in front of me for like several seconds, and I'm like, oh, should I move? And then I move away and she goes into the study.
Oh, weird.
Oh, hello, Freya.
I was like in her path or something, and she just like stood there like staring at me.
She didn't walk around you.
Like, oh, pardon me. Yeah, but then you go to look for the Norns in Midgard.
Midgard again.
Right. He's looking for
Midgard
the
again.
No,
fates.
Midgard.
Right, the fates of, because there's fates in this world as there were in the Greek.
And so what Freya like has something that has their scent on it?
She has some of the strands.
Well, it was a classic,
Don't worry, I already have a thing that we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaylee, what's the word for that? We thought about it last time. This game does do it a lot. We didn't get to the word, but we were talking about the trope where it's like, and they do it a lot. It's like that soft magic-y whatever where it's like, it's like coincidence. Coincidence just happens all the time so far, where it's like, whatever the thing is, it's like, don't worry, we've already got a solution for that.
It's not a
but you
Deus
still
Ex
gotta get
Machina.
over there.
Yeah, it's not a Deus Ex Machina. It's like just where they already have the solve, so you don't have to worry about that problem. It already is fine.
Right. Yeah, and then we we get the wolves, the scent, and then we go to.
What do you guys think about that gameplay mechanic with the wolves?
Oh, it was hard.
It was
adorable.
It was dumb. It was kind of not.
Yes, it was adorable. But sometimes if there was a fork in the road and I took it too early and then they turned their heds that way and I'm like, wait, was that
it was
I didn't know if I did something wrong.
Yeah, I think you're kind of overthinking like the mechanic of it, and you're like, oh, is the head moving that way or that way? Am I still supposed to be going this way? And now I'm running into the temple, like,
Did you guys like drift?
I didn't know you could until you're done, and then it told me how to drift. And
Oh,
I was like,
what?
why
I
didn't
didn't
you
know
tell me
you could drift.
before?
Tokyo drift.
Yeah, you
drift.
can like if you're like turning a corner and you hold circle or something, it like flings you around. And I think I hit one barrel that way, and that was it.
Oh, I feel like I'll have to go back and try that. It's worth it. But
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cool.
I didn't see that. I didn't know that you could do that.
They don't pop it up right away, which I think is a huge miss.
Oh.
So it's like they gave me the prompts literally at the end of the quest when I was riding back. They were like, you can drift by. And I was like, why would you do that now? I'm just going to the gate. I'm out of here.
Interesting.
Yeah, and, Kratos is not a dog person. He's
yeah.
He's not very.
Yeah. Freya was like, their fur is all matted. And he's like, they are wolves.
They're wolves. Yeah. And he's just, he's kind of like, whatever. They do the.
And says the lady who left her turtle to freeze to death.
I was gonna say that too. Yeah,
if you take care of it, they'll live longer. Your turtle's dead, ho.
Do you remember that thing you were living inside of?
Frozen
turtle. You remember like 3 hours ago before you decided you were friends with me now? And...
Hey, while we're in Midgard, you want to go check on your friggin' living house?
There's no time. Take the wolves.
God.
How'd you guys like the you had to find 2 not real places, or the 2 like versions, but Billy they call it out. They're like, isn't it always crazy how it's the third one?
It's always the third one. That as a writing.
But like, no, why do it? I don't like that. Why do it then?
Yeah,
like, I don't even like the tongue-in-cheekness of it. It's like, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
No. I found
right gamer, right? It's always the third one.
It's not the right tone.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know, but yeah, we found the third one. There's
been a couple of those so far, which are like sort of these fourth wall breaking. Get it, and I just don't think they land for me.
Yeah,
like I want the characters to just stay in character and to not comment on that kind of stuff as if like we're game designers. Get it? It's like, I don't want you to do that. I want the full blown sincerity of characters in Elden Ring, where everyone is just straight up morose, straight up happy, you know what I mean? Like they're just like completely sincere about what they think.
Well, I think the only tongue-in-cheek thing I've enjoyed so far was when Atreus was like, my dad loves loot.
Oh yeah,
that was funny.
I feel like they're doing a lot more of it in this game than they did in the last game.
Yeah.
And they were trying to like escape with Tyr, and he's like, I think it's this way. Oh, you're getting another chest. Okay, all right, I'll wait.
Right.
That was I thought that was funny.
It was funny.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
No. There was a funny thing.
I think I liked one, Ironwood. But there's just been too many, so now I hate them all.
Yeah.
There was a funny one. There was a funny one in Ironwood of the prophecies that if you wanted to go look at the other things Angrboda like drew, and there was something about a hand, and she's like, hands are the hardest to draw, and I was like, that's actually that's a thing. That's a developer Easter egg. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I feel like that one's less offensive than gameplay tied in. I think the ones I don't like are that gameplay commentary.
Right.
Where like, because when developers do it, I think they don't realize they're doing it about things that actually are kind of annoying, and they think their little joke softens it as if like, I know that was kind of dumb, and it's like, no, then take it out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want isn't that kind of dumb that there were just dead ends for no real narrative reason, because now we'll just really easily find the last one on the third place we look. It's like, no, that didn't make the world feel larger. That doesn't make the fates feel more mysterious. It actually makes the game feel like a game, because you just reminded me it is one.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a way of them making you explore some of Midgard now that you're here. It's like a mechanic. That's my only thought.
That's true.
Maybe that's kind of, but again, like it's kind of a tired like game mechanic in that like you're searching for a thing and then it's the third one.
The tracking quest where it's always on the third one. Kind of trope, right?
Yeah. What did you guys think about when you did finally get there, and then the three characters all have like their hallucinations?
That was cool.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was
really well done too.
Yeah.
Like technically a great achievement. The camera moves and how things grab you and flip you around, and like that stuff was cool.
And like Mimir getting sucked back into the tree.
Yeah,
right.
That stuff was cool.
Yeah, they kind of had to face their fears or kind of relive some of their past, or something that they kind of are fearing. So like, yeah, Mimir and Sigrun and
was
Baldur.
it about like?
Wait, what was that? What was Kratos' again?
Atreus leaving him for Odin.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And it starts with
new daddy Odin.
Like, father, there's a monster after me. And then by the end of it, you kind of learn that the full phrase or like the twist of it is all father, as in Odin.
Father. He's a monster.
He's the monster, Kratos.
Yeah.
So Kratos is the monster.
Yeah. Yep. Odin is Loki's friend, not his dad. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. I didn't really understand Mimir's thing with Sigrun.
I guess because of what Kaylee said, where they bumped ugly pretties. They bumped pretties at one point or something.
Godlies.
Godlies.
Yeah.
Godlies at some point.
I
have no idea, because like that relationship, either I've forgotten it entirely or it was I don't know, like some side note, it was not in the recap.
Yeah,
video.
like Sigrun was
the recap fire.
Yeah, the recap
Sigrun was
fire.
mad at Mimir for something that he claimed to be innocent of, and then Kratos like,
why'd you tell Odin? Was it that, or it was something like, why
why
didn't you
didn't-
stand up for me? Or
Yeah.
something weird like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
right.
and then Kratos just like ripped her wings off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without me, by the way,
Yeah.
which is always the
Vicious.
most
Yeah.
boring way to do some of these moments. The coolest looking thing, and I didn't even push circle. I was like, oh.
It would be nice to push circle.
Yeah. That's how they taught me at the beginning of the game, right? They're like, there's going to be
Cool
context sensitive button prompts. And now those don't really happen anymore, which is kind of funny that it's still in the intro. It's like, wait, have we done those? I don't think we do those anymore, right?
There might be a couple more moments that we've done them, but yeah, not recently in any big cutscenes or anything. I feel like.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
that was like an action cutscene, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
right.
you have to do it in time with the action, punch her in the
time,
face quickly, press circle before it's too late. Like, they did a few, and it's like, oh, this is old school, but like, okay.
Yeah.
And then we've had multiple cutscenes that like look beautiful, and you do like a crazy awesome thing, but they don't do that. I just thought that was kind of funny. It's like, didn't you set up that like this was gonna happen again?
Timed events. That's what they're called, I think. Timed events or something.
Quick time events.
Quick time events, yes. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that whole section was interesting. I thought that was one of the high points of I guess the game, or the
that was cool.
part of the mission. Yeah. And then the fates. This whole fates section was probably a little bit more
I liked
interesting
the
to me.
fates stuff a lot. Yeah. Before we go to the fates, really quickly. So we talked about the boss, but Jackie, why don't you tell us a little bit your experience?
With that frost phantom?
With the globe. The glowing globe that we fight, which is a really cool boss skin.
It was
really cool boss skin.
It was the most...
I was joking, but that's okay.
Oh no.
I thought it was pretty
the
cool.
globe was a good idea. It was just a ball.
It reminded me of the Pokemon.
It's a rune. Oh yeah. It's kind of got
purple army crystal things, and I liked it.
Yeah.
Dude, after the dragon Nidhogg, that thing was a fucking floating ball. I was like, come on, get out of here.
It had interesting attacks.
It did.
And they were strung together in interesting ways. It was very, very FromSoft to me. I felt like
monster.
Yeah, like I felt like I was learning movesets and timing and things like that, where normally, you know, especially if it's like a horde of minions, I'm just like slashing everything. But yeah, I mean, even like Nidhogg or I don't know, the other like big official health bar bosses, I didn't get it like that. Like those two crocodiles, the two crocodiles in Vanheim, that was crazy. I couldn't learn their movesets. But
right.
Yeah, but I think this one was more just about knowing when I could dodge something, because I thought it was kind of annoying that if I'm dodging, I'm not blocking, you know?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I tried to dodge some things too that block was better for.
Yeah, like if I'm rolling out of the way on like an area attack, it's not like I'm jumping over it like the Elden Beast or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know. I got there. It took me like 45 minutes, but I did it.
Ooh. Were you losing your mind, or were you like...
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it at this point, you know.
Yeah, Elden Ring already broke you.
Days.
Was it what's it called? Was it immediately apparent that you had to destroy those pillars?
Yes. I tried whacking at them before they became vulnerable, and I was like, oh, this isn't doing anything.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Did you not get it right away, Alan?
Well, so the side quest, and I don't know if Kayla, you did this, but it sounds like Billy and Jackie didn't do it, to release a second jellyfish. I did do that.
No, I didn't do that.
Jellyfish never getting out.
Yeah. It's I don't think it's worth it to like see what happens at the end. I think it's cute and whatever.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. It's kind of nice, and there's visually it's cool. But then after you do that, you get to you fight this same enemy. So by the time I got to that, I knew the pillar mechanism, but in the first time I did it, it was a lot less apparent than it was in this one. So I didn't really get that realization like that first time if I had done it. If I had only fought it this first time.
Well, there's also like smaller purple things that have a spring that you need to destroy. I think Atreus fights some.
The wisps.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you're right.
They have the similar pedestal thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, I didn't make that connection. See, I'm just an idiot, I guess. Yeah, no, but I think that was it was still probably as difficult, but I think at that point I kind of knew I had to hit those pillars, so I was like, okay, I don't have to waste my time. But that first one took a long time for me. Yeah.
If people want to see us ever fighting these bosses, you can start checking the YouTube channel. We're uploading the video footage, and in this one, you'll see me absolutely smoking this one first try.
Oh, what?
Funny part of
First
that.
try. All right.
Yeah, first try. Funny part of that though is like the little minion you play right before it. I died like 5 times. whatever that wispy creature is, that it's kind of like a ghoul or something. What is that creature supposed to be?
I'm trying to remember what it was. What was
the sort of witch-like creature that if you just go up and try to hit it, it will just flash backwards and you can't touch it, right? And then you kind of hit it with an arrow and then you can hit it.
Yeah, it's more arrow.
Whenever we learned how to fight that is like gone from my memory at this point. So I was like, what is happening? And I just kept getting fucking smoked by that thing. But I finally got lucky and killed it. But then for whatever reason, I rolled right into this and I was ready to go.
Cool.
Nice.
Good job.
So check out YouTube and you guys can see more exciting fights when we get to them. I hope we're going to be slaying some gods soon. So check that out.
Yes.
So after this, you go to the Fates.
On a Kelpie.
Yeah, that
Kelpie,
was awesome.
Yeah, that was
so funny.
Cool.
You walk in and Kratos is like, what is this?
Yeah. That's a Kelpie.
What is that?
Like, it's a horsey, Kratos.
Yeah.
I think that was like my favorite creature design yet of
That was cool.
world.
Cool.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
And then when it turned into kelp and it went...
Yeah.
And then it was,
so it's like a mermaid horse and
it's like,
so it can walk on water and then it dives through the water, which was cool.
Yeah.
To seahorse,
and you end up at the Fates. Which makes sense. So the Fates are all like threads, right? They're pulling the threads and their whole home is made of threads.
Which also looked kind of like kelp.
Yeah, is that maybe that's
Did you notice that?
point?
You know, like the
I was seeing it as like yarn, but yeah.
When we went in there, I thought of SpongeBob and Sandy's little bubble. Mostly because Linda and you mentioned Sandy from SpongeBob. So I was like, oh, we're SpongeBob now.
I made it.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you guys think of the whole Fates Norn's interaction? And
I thought it was annoying.
Oh. No, I'm asking. That's
if anyone is listening to this because they are loving God of War, they must just fucking hate us.
We're giving it enough love. We're giving it love in there.
There are really cool things.
There's some cool moments. I think
the design of this
I get what you're saying about
think
the hate. They're doing a thing to annoy the characters, and after a while, it kind of annoys you too, right? They're like, I know everything before you could say it, and after a while, it like a little brother or sister, it is annoying. They're just repeating everything you say.
Yeah. But they looked very cool. I loved the oldest one with that staff. That was awesome.
Yeah. And is that supposed to be like, to me, I took it as like the same like person or like fate, but they're in like different times, right? Like, so that I took away from it, which I thought was kind of cool. I'm like, okay, they're not, That's cool. They're
the
just
Mother Maiden and Crone
older versions,
kind of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also, I was like, so the way they were portraying Fate, and I think it makes sense, it's like Fate is kind of like a storyteller into story.
Right.
And that's why they are kind of using all the verbiage they are, talking about like, why do you want to read your script and all this stuff? And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I get it. That's cool. I loved where it ended, obviously. That was just like, okay, why did we do this? Because Kratos is gonna go roll some god heads, because that's what he does, is kill gods. And I was like,
this is my nature.
you should have put this in the promo materials.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. I'm ready. Buckle up.
Yeah, the
I
whole
thought
dialogue bit with Mimir at the end of it, where he's just like Mimir's, I don't know, Kratos is like, it's one of those moments where Kratos has grasped the thing before Mimir has, like that this is going to happen because this is how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And Mimir is like coming around to it, and the kind of the moment where he's like, yeah, because this is my nature. And he just like knows, there is something nice about a character who knows very much who he is. And this is like finally an area where he's comfortable. He's not been comfortable raising his son. He's not been comfortable dealing with this teenage Loki. But
I haven't been as comfortable either. I'm finally comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the
now
old,
he's comfortable.
Yeah.
He knows this business.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know what I'd really love to see as a throwback when we get into this killing gods mode again? In the old games, you guys should YouTube this later. It's hilarious. There used to be these like quick time event sex scenes where you could get extra health. It was like so video gamey and crass and insane.
I think I've seen Athena.
Yeah, they're crazy. I hope we put one of those in there.
I think they had that in
I would have tapped triangle while I'm going in the back door and like watching fake boobies bounce, and then I get health.
No, you don't. So those are two. You don't win Game of the Year awards like that, Billy.
You don't win Story of the Year.
Yeah,
for that.
critic awards or something.
That's hilarious.
The time's passed.
Wow.
Google it later. It is hilarious. They're so
gonna
funny.
Google it later. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
funny.
look that up.
who are you shipping though? Is it Freya or Sif? Or someone else?
Sif. It would be Sif. It totally makes sense, because that would be like, and then you get in the brawl of your life.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. No
With
hair
Thor.
versus the most hair.
Oh, that's so
But
funny.
both, technically, they can talk about how they've both been bald.
Oh yeah.
That's how they
True.
that's how
They
they
have something in
bonded
common.
initially.
Yeah, they already have so much in
Yeah.
common. Yeah, you're right.
The
You're right.
chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah, I do
Doesn't
remember
have to
Mimir
have hair
talking
around
to
him.
him. I do remember Mimir. I think like throughout, right? He was kind of like trying to coax like Kratos into like not doing what he thinks he wants to do, like kill Heimdall, because that's just the way that it might have to happen. But yeah,
Well,
like
he
you said,
like
by
still
the
wants
end,
to
you're
talk
like,
about it, right? Like,
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
on, let's talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah. And Kratos is like, I kill gods. Like that's all. It's like that's my nature, man. So yeah, that was interesting.
Well, and what is Gallarhorn? Gallarhorn?
Gallarhorn is the horn that you can see Heimdall wearing it. He's wearing it on his hip. And it's like the horn that actually summons the armies of so warriors die and go to Valhalla.
Oh.
Gallarhorn summons them to fight for Odin in Ragnarok, I think.
Okay,
Oh,
gotcha.
okay.
Yes.
'Cause- and
Valhalla
that
is
is-
different than Helheim. So,
Yes.
yes.
That is how Loki figured out who Heimdall was.
Yes. It's because he's
like, is
carrying
that
Gallarhorn.
Gallarhorn? Oh,
Yeah.
you must be Heimdall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, off to kill
Cool.
Heimdall.
Yeah,
I
that's pretty much
can't
it.
wait.
Yeah, go back to the treehouse,
It's
right?
gonna be
So that's what we're
great.
doing next, right? So we're going to do 2 chapters, and hopefully that's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you can catch us. And we're going to be talking about what else we can play. But anyway, so next time, 2 chapters and a Last of Us episode. Can't wait. Coming Friday. We'll talk about the Super Bowl, JK. That is not going to happen.
Nope.
No.
That's it.
Super-
No Super Bowl. No Super
No Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
No Pooper Bowl.
Superb
No.
owls.
Oh, yeah.
No, the
Super
ravens. Bowels. Oh, bowels of war.
Oh, I thought you were still talking about Super Bowl. So the Eagles are the ones playing.
So this episode is Bowels of War, Jackie? I feel like that's what you're pitching
Bowels
me.
of- yeah, I mean,
Bowels of war.
there was a lot of butt stuff, so
Cooper.
There's a
tangentially
lot of
related.
butt stuff.
Cooper Bowl.
Bowels
Stuff
of
of
War,
war.
parentheses,
It's-
butt stuff.
Tangentially
Also-
related, yeah.
Crack of
Yeah.
wisdom.
Bowels.
Yes! Yes, the crack of wisdom. Oh, it's great.
The crack.
Butt
Uh-huh.
stuff and the crack of wisdom.
Yep.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jackie, you are the only one with the power to make us stop.
Power.
You are.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Whip, whip.
Wow.
I just love you guys so much. I don't want it to end, you know?
Aww. Okay.
Oh, mama. Put that thing on easy mode. Going standard edish. Story mode is my big fetish. Going standard edish. My avatar's all coquettish. Oh, she's coquettish. This ain't no speed run, mama. I'm having hella fun. No need to get overpowered. Just take that starting hour. You can turn me into a farmer, but don't need me a horse armor. I'm going. Yeah, I'm going. Standard edish. Story mode is my big fetish. Standard edish. My avatar's all coquettish. Oh, she's coquettish. Deluxe edition art book. Mama, I'm never gonna look. Plastic jacket, fake sword, collector's racket, trophy hoard. We collected every single thing just to pop out all this DJ play. Well, I'm still stuck in the starting tower. I've been lost for like a fucking hour. What? We'll go with standard edish. What? Story mode is mine. Oh, she's coquettish.